When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
but that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
I am paging Dr. Shanta.
I am the doctor.
And I'm a licensed clinical psychologist.
And welcome to the Paging Dr. Shanta podcast, all things related to the Black culture.
The doctor in front of your name.
What's up, family? It is Dr. Shonda. Tune in for another episode of Paging Dr. Shonda. All you have to do is keep watching. But listen, if you're just watching from the outside, just peeking through the window, I need you to commit. Come all the way in the house, and I need you to subscribe, like, and shoot me a comment in the comment section. I love responding to all of your comments. I love listening and reading how much you guys enjoy the topics that I'm talking about. So yeah, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, and join the tribe.
Stop scrolling for 1 second. This month, we are bringing back the psychology of Black women, the online class brought to you by yours truly, Dr. Shonda, licensed clinical psychologist. Y'all, I've been getting so many questions about why anxiety and depression presents differently in Black women. What do we do about it? How can we start to combat this? And what are some of the reasonings behind it? Listen, if you are a Black woman who has questions about anxiety and depression, it's something you experience or something your loved ones experience, or if you're a professional who works with Black women who experience anxiety and depression, I promise you this class is for you. Make sure that you sign up today.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You are now tuned in to the Paging Dr. Shonda show, where you can watch on Revolt as well as Spock Soul. You can also download on Tubi, and recently found out that it's on Hulu. So you guys have a plethora of areas where you can watch this show. I am so thrilled to be here today with my guest, Miss Teenear. So just to briefly introduce her. So Teenear is a rising star who has effortlessly blended old school soul with experimental pop, making waves in the industry. Signed to the legendary Slip and Slide Records, home to icons like Trina and Trick Daddy, Teenear has quickly become a name to watch. Her debut album, Never Met a Me, did I say that right? Never Met a Me. Okay, it's out now, so y'all need to go to wherever you get your music and download that. And with collaborations from heavyweights like Rick Ross, Lil Baby, and label mate Trina the Rockstar, she's solidifying her place as a force in the music world. And y'all, she is like drop dead gorgeous. So make some noise for Miss Teenear. Teenear, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for all that. And thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's such a pleasure to be able to meet you, to get acquainted with you and your music. I've been able to do some listening to, who you are and the music that you have. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is my little baby. This album is definitely my child.
Period. No, I can definitely relate to that as a creative. Like it feels like you're giving birth to something and you want other people. Yeah.
Such a crazy feeling.
Yeah. So tell me, what has your summer been like? Like it's festival season. Like, what's the summer been?
Honestly, it's just been busy. I've been working. I've been outside, just honestly enjoying this moment. Like putting out this project, it put me in a lot of different spaces. And I love being able to meet people face to face and talk and, just enjoy the moment. No pun intended to my single. But it's just been a good time. I honestly have no complaints of this summer. I feel like I lived it to the fullest. And then I just went to Tulum, and that was fun. A little moment, a weekend getaway.
So was this work or was it leisure?
That was leisure.
I love that.
Just for a few days.
Love that for you. Love that for you. Okay. What were some of your highlights of this summer so far?
Ooh, there were so many big moments. I mean, I would say the biggest highlight for me was releasing my project. Still to this day, I'm like taking in all like the feedback and just the fact, like I said earlier, it's my baby. And like, I'm giving this thing that I've worked on for so long to the world. And it's just been an overwhelming, but like incredible feeling. And I'm so grateful and just excited to see everything that's going to come.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, one woman to another, I'm super proud of you for putting out this project. Yes, putting it in the atmosphere is just going to do amazing things for you in your career. So, just to, of course. And just to dig a little bit more into you and your background. So, you are the first ever singer to be signed to the iconic Slip and Slide record. So, how did this opportunity come about for you? And what does it feel like to be a part of such a legendary label?
Honestly, at the beginning, it was kind of an overwhelming experience because, like you said, I'm the first singer on the label, and like I was creating my own lane in a way. And there's so many legends that have come before me, so I'm like, there, I have to make sure I make my mark and like not let anyone down. But as I just like grew in this world in the industry, I feel like right now I'm in a place where I've developed an understanding of myself and like my confidence, and I feel like now that's where I am, and I'm happy to be here and happy to be able to express that now. And originally, when it started, I was in a place where I didn't really know how to express myself. I came into it only recording demos, and people would send these songs in, and I'm like, okay, I'll record them. And I'll never forget, there was a moment where I was in the studio with a producer named Anthony Free, and he saw that I wasn't really feeling what I was doing. And he was like, Teenear, let's stop recording this song. Let me play a beat and let's write to it. I remember in that moment freaking out because I had never done that before with anyone else in the room. And that moment actually ended up becoming my first single, which was Friday Night featuring Sage the Gemini. And from that moment on, I was like, okay, this is it for me.
Yeah. I think that's such a powerful story because it really is a testament of how no matter how other people or how we expect to kind of like show up, it's always important to stay true to ourselves and to tap
Exactly.
into like what's inside. Yeah. What
Exactly.
helps you do that?
What helped me do that? I mean, I always say God helps me get through everything, truly. And other than that, I give him the glory every time because there's so many things, so many ups and downs throughout these years that I've been a part of the label. And I know that today, everything that I'm doing is because of him. And I'm so grateful and just excited to just continue giving him the glory. And that's where my confidence comes from, 100%.
Period. Exactly. Where does your faith in God, like relying on that, like how does that impact how you see your career, how you see your future in singing? Like what does that, yeah, how does that influence that?
I feel like recently I've come to a place where I feel like it's truly helped me develop just my confidence because no matter what happens, I go back to the thought of like faith. If you're stressing about anything, there's no way you're having faith in God because God is everything that He does in your life and puts you through is for a reason. So why am I stressing out? Like there's a reason behind it. I may not see it yet, but it's coming. So that's my confidence.
Wow.
Faith, standing on faith, and that gets me through everything.
Yeah. Well, they said that you're an emerging artist, but nobody said you was a preacher. But you're preaching today.
I love that.
Really. Seriously,
you.
because a lot of times, yes, a lot of times we allow our confidence to be in man or our confidence to be impacted by life's challenges and how the labels that other people put onto us, as opposed to tapping into our God-given talent, to who God says that we are. And it sounds like you're doing that.
Yes, you have to. You have to bring it back to that at the end of the day. Because there's so many situations I could look back on and I'm like, dang, why did I go through that? Or why did I allow myself to make that like take over me in that moment? So now I'm like, no, whenever anything happens, I'm like, Teenear, stop, calm down. There's something, there's a reason. You don't see it yet, but it's coming.
That reminds me of that scripture, like all things work together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So your music tends to blend old school soul with experimental pop. So how do you balance these influences to create a sound that's uniquely yours?
Honestly, none of my sounds I feel like are intentional. in the moment. Like in every moment that I've been in any writing camp, it's kind of just I go with whatever I'm feeling in that moment. And I guess this is where I am in life right now and where my body and my energy resonates. And when I create stuff with like different producers and different writers, like this is what comes about. So I feel like I always tell people I feel like right now my music, especially this project, it just embodies everything that I am and everything.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
This is ludicrous.
but that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
I want to give to the world and show the world. So
Yeah.
this is where I am right now. I don't know where I'll be or what I'll be singing about in like 5 years. We'll see. But this is me right now.
Yeah. It sounds like what we call like that soulful music though. Like you're literally pouring your soul into it. It's who you are. It's not just based on trends. Yeah.
I always say, like, my music is for the ones that want to feel. Because I'm a lover. I'm a true lover. Nothing in this world is going to change that. So I feel like that's what you're going to feel. And I hope that's what you feel. I want people to feel because I feel everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so even, thinking about some of your collaborations that you've had on this project or even in general in your career, you work with some incredible people such as Lil Baby, Trina. What have been some lessons that you've been able to learn in some of these collaborations that you've been able to have with these artists?
Ooh, lessons. I don't know. When it comes to lessons.
Or any pieces of advice that they're giving you.
Well, I would definitely say from day one, like Trina has always been supportive and supportive in the way of just making sure to always like cheer me on and also let me know that I just need to stay true to who I am. And like from the beginning, hearing that you're like, yeah. But obviously, I know me, my journey growing up, there are 100 things going on. I want to listen to everyone's voice and like I'm learning throughout my entire journey. But now, like I said, I'm in a place where I'm understanding myself 100%. So I appreciate that advice because that is true. Like, if you don't stay true to who you are and completely believe in who you are, you start following all these different trends, and then it doesn't resonate with you and it doesn't resonate with the world. So if you're out on social media being something that you aren't, people are going to see and feel and they're not going to believe what you don't even believe for real. So that's my biggest thing. Just like stay true to who you are at the end of the day because nobody has ever met a you. And that's beautiful.
Exact. There's only one you who can do what you do.
Exactly.
That's it. Even thinking about that though, like I think this whole concept that we're talking about, like being true to you, even people who aren't artists or in the entertainment industry, sometimes as women, like we have this pressure to conform to what society says that we should be, how we should speak, how we should talk, how we should dress. And if we do allow these influences to impact us, it takes away from our uniqueness. Like, has there ever been a time where you may have struggled with that?
Oh, definitely. And I, like in the beginning, I know I came in, like I said, there were 100 different voices for me to listen to. And in that moment, I was taking it in because I'm like, these are people that know the industry. They're giving me the best advice they could. I'm trying to learn game, but I had to learn it in my own way and understand like when they're saying to do certain things or sound a certain way, it's like, do that, but make it yourself.
Yes.
And that's more just like where I'm at right now. I take advice, but I'm like, okay, but what about me? How do I resonate with this?
Exactly. And you being you and showing up as authentically Teenear, that can be so influencing to other people in general, especially women and girls who are looking up to you. I can just imagine that.
Yeah, I mean, that's my goal at the end of the day. I always say, I want to walk into every room and every conversation, every stage, and just show up as me because I know that there's a bigger purpose that God has placed inside of
Yeah.
me. And I want that to be seen ultimately at the end of the day. I always stand on being a light. I want to be a light in the industry. I pray on that every day because there's so many different paths that people can follow, but I want people to see me and be like, huh, there's something about her. I don't know what it is, but I want to make sure that one day, whatever that is, I get it in my own way. And, they feel that when they talk to me, and they feel that when they hear me sing, or feel that when I'm just in the room with them.
I I think that's what makes you unique, because a lot of people may join the industry to kind of bring the glory to themselves, like to reach a certain height, to get a certain amount of followers, to get a certain amount of streams or what have you. But it sounds like you're like, nah, I just want to be a light. Like I want other people to benefit from what I have to bring to this world.
Yeah,
So
and for a minute, there was a place where I was like, I didn't talk as much about God. And I feel like right now I do because I know that everything that I'm doing, I have to bring the glory back to Him because I know that there's a bigger purpose. It may start in music and it may not end in music, but right now, this is where He has me. I'm still figuring out my purpose, but I'm going to make sure I step into every room, every conversation, every stage, and give that glory and give what I know I'm supposed to be doing right now.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that. And just kind of like going into the wellness piece of it all, the music industry can be very demanding. It can really wreak havoc on a lot of people's mental health and how they prioritize themselves, even how they prioritize their spiritual relationship with God or what have you. I wonder, has there ever been a time where any of this was impacted as you were kind of navigating the music industry?
Yes. At the beginning, my journey wasn't clear. There was a lot of cloudiness going on. And I remember in 2020 for me was a moment where I took a step back completely. I wasn't putting out music for like a whole year. I didn't put out any music. And I really just took a step back to evaluate everything going on in my life because I just knew something wasn't right. It wasn't feeling right, nothing was going right. And I appreciate that moment that I had to just pause because I feel like I was able to develop myself and like who I am and also develop that relationship with God closer because I knew that in that moment there was nothing that I could stand on but God. And it just continued to let me just grow in this relationship because a lot went on that just helped me so much and how I'm here.
Yeah. And that's inspiring. How did you know it was time to take a step back?
Just nothing was going right. There was just always something going on. And it was like one of those things where it's like you're trying so hard to make things perfect and there's always going to be problems. But when big things just come out of nowhere and it's like, dang, what did I do now? Like, what's going on? And I also had a big moment where I had a really bad car accident with one of my best friends at the time. And I didn't, when it happened, I remember in the moment, I paused and I looked ahead of me and I was like, wow, this is about to happen. We flipped off of a highway, like down a hill. And it was like one of those moments where it's like, I didn't scream, nothing. Like I knew what was coming next, like in result of like my actions. And it was kind of like, God, I don't know where this is gonna land, but wherever you take me is where you take me. And I remember just being at peace in that moment. And then I don't know if I knocked out, I don't know what happened, but when it was all over, I remember opening my eyes and just being like, thank you, God, because I couldn't have, there's so many things that happened that was so divine in that moment. It was 3 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. Someone saw me fly off the highway. Wow. They called the police. There was an ambulance at the corner of the highway, so they came immediately. It was just so divine. And I remember after that, I was like, okay, God, like I can't do anything but listen to you right now because it was just a crazy moment for me.
Girl, that testimony just gave me chills. Like it sounds like everything kind of like lined up with what you needed in that moment.
it was a wake up call.
Yeah.
He definitely it for me. I won't say that he made that happen, but you know, it was a wake up call where it was like, I need your attention, and I definitely from that point on, I was like, okay, you got it, you got my attention.
Absolutely, yeah. And 3 a.m. like that, there's spiritual significance in that as well, but that's a whole nother podcast. So, no, but you know, just hearing your testimony about how God is covering you and how even after that moment, like you're looking to bring glory to Him, like that is so inspiring on so many levels. For real.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. I know a lot of people when I talk to them about either burnout or feeling as though, you know, they need to take a break, but they're afraid of taking the break because they're like, well, I will get stagnant in my career or people might forget about me. I wonder, did you ever struggle with that?
That was right at 2020. I didn't put any music out. And I will say, it was a moment where
Black culture feeds fashion, but fashion doesn't always feed Black creatives. I mean, only 7.3% of American fashion designers are Black. So McDonald's is pairing 5 rising Black designers with 5 fashion insiders for career-changing mentorships and the access they deserve. Because we can do better than 7.3. Together, we can change the face of fashion. Follow their journey on Instagram at We Are Golden.
Statistics sourced from Zippia.com as of 2021.
The label, we were going through some things. Okay. So I didn't like it. I did not like it because that fear did come in me where it's like, I'm not putting anything out. Like, what am I doing? But it had to happen. Yeah. I look back at it and it definitely was needed to just develop who I am today. Like if I didn't have that pause of just focusing on myself, literally, I probably wouldn't have put out my project yet.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that time so much.
And
you can't be afraid.
Say that again.
I said, you can't be afraid of it. Like I said, now, anytime something bad happens, I'm like, there is a reason behind it. I don't know it yet, but I will find out, whether that's tomorrow, a month from now, a year from now. There's a reason behind it.
Yeah. And you know, I'm a firm believer that even when we do take breaks for our health or mental wellness or what have you, you know, God is a restorer of time. So whatever time you think you lost, God has the ability to put us 4 steps ahead of where we thought we were going to be.
Exactly. You really can't stress. If you're stressing, you don't have faith. You do not have faith if you put stress in the mix.
That's a whole word. Come on, preacher. In terms of like some of the individuals who inspired you, such as Beyonce, Rihanna, Mariah Carey, how do you hope to influence and inspire this next generation of artists?
Oh my God. I guess my biggest thing is always going to be being a light, but I want to, there's just so much that I look at like Beyonce for. Outside of her music, she just created this big brand for herself. And it's an empire. That's what I want to do at the end of the day. I want my name to be a household name, its own brand. There's so much that I feel like I know that I'm passionate about outside of music that I'm excited to give to the world. But God's timing is perfect timing right now. My music is the focus, and but I'm excited to see what's to come.
Yeah.
There's so much like it's stirring up in my head all the time.
Okay, so if you can kind of like project like 5 years from now, what do you see yourself doing? Like, what do you want to accomplish? Like, what? Yeah. I know that's a hard question.
I know it is always. I would say I see myself 5 years from now probably already doing my own headlining tour. And not my first, it'll probably be like my second one at that point. And starting by then, my second business that I have starting up in my head. I'm not big on like getting too much out because, you know, people are interesting out here.
Yeah.
But there's some interesting people. But in 5 years, I see myself doing my second headlining tour. and starting my second, or giving the world my second business that is stirring up.
Come on.
Oh, and I'm definitely going to be on a movie screen for sure by then.
That I can see that. And I can also see like a book for you.
Ooh,
I can see that.
A book? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because you house a lot of experience and a lot of just like using your faith to rely on God, and that helps you to navigate career. And there's so many people who struggle with that.
Oh, you might have just sparked something.
I mean, you never know.
You never know. Wow, I love that.
Yeah. Well, don't forget about me once you write that book and it's the New York Times bestseller.
Never. I'm gonna be. What's today's date? The 22nd.
Yep.
I'm gonna remember this.
Write it down. So with this album that you have, Never Met a Me Out, what can fans expect from you for the rest of the quarter, for the rest of the year? What do we got going on?
More visuals. I have so many ideas in my brain and so many things that I've been working on in the last few weeks. And I'm just excited for everyone to experience the album and really I feel like visuals really make you feel or see what's going on in my head when I am singing the songs myself. And it helps you connect to the song a little bit more. So I'm excited for people to be able to experience that because I've been working on a lot.
Nice. I'm excited for you. You have a lot of great things going on. And again, people are blessed just to kind of like have your music. And I know we're going to be even more blessed with your visuals. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. How can the people stay connected to you?
You can follow me on all social media platforms at Teenear, and it's spelled Teenearr. And make sure you stream my album on every streaming platform. It's called Never Met a Me.
Period. So I need the girls to go to wherever you get your music and download Never Met a Me so we can support our girl Teenear. Teenear, thank you so much for joining the show today. We appreciate you.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate you and your energy.
Thank you. Listen, my energy was I was trying to match you. Like you have great energy as well. So absolutely. And to the viewers out there, make sure that you guys tune in next Thursday at 6 p.m. on Fox Soul. You can also listen on the Revolt Podcast Network. And don't forget, you have the power to create the emotions that you want to experience. God bless.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
But that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.